Hello children, let's start our next topic from the lesson light reflection and refraction. Reflection part we have already done and refraction also we had started in the last video. So this video is about the refraction through a glass slab. Suppose this is an experiment also in your, you have to do this experiment also, it is there in your practical syllabus. So what you have to do, you have to in the lab how we do it. First I will tell you that. We'll take a cardboard. On that cardboard we place a white sheet of paper. In the center of that we fix it with the help of the thumb pins. Then in the center of the white sheet we place a glass slab and draw its boundary. Then there are two you can say interface or you can say two surfaces from which we are going to see. First, we will place two thumbnails or two awl pins in such a way that one thumb pin suppose is here and the other thumb pin is here. And when I draw a line, okay, let's not draw the line now. Now I will place one thumb pin like this, and behind this I am going to place one more thumb pin. How will you place this thumb pin just behind this? Looking from this face of the glass slab, you will see that these two thumb pins lie in the one line. Then again looking from this side itself, you will look for the image of these two pins from this side of the glass slab. Then again aligning, you will looking through this glass slab, you will again draw this. You will fix two more awl pins. You will look through this surface and all these four pins, all pins should be in one line. When you will look for the images of these two, and images following the images of these two awl pins, you will put two more awl pin towards yourself on your side. And then when you will see that all these four thumb pins, all pins are in the same line, same one line. Now let us join all these. Now you will draw this circle like this. Remove the awl pin and draw the circle, mark them. Then join them. When you will join, this line will act as our incident ray, and then you will see it has, now let me draw this. I have drawn this. Now with the help of scale, I am going to join these two lines like this. This is how. Now what I am going to do, I am going to draw, let me reduce the circles, make it smaller. I will draw a normal like this. And suppose this is A, B, C, D. Let me give it the name O, E. This is this point is if it is E, F, let me give it a name as G. Okay, I am drawing a normal at this point. Now the incident ray, let me remove these circles children, otherwise it will be a confusion. Now point was here, pin was here. Now the incident ray, this is our incident ray, making an angle with the normal is our angle of incidence. This is our, now you will see children, as the light has entered from optic, this is air from where the light is entering into the glass slab. Glass is optically denser than air. So this ray is bending towards the normal. This is our normal and this light ray is bending towards the normal. This is the refracted ray making an angle with the normal is known as angle of refraction. Now again when this light ray will come out of this glass slab, it is entering from denser to rarer medium. Then that is why again we will draw a normal here and you will see that this is moving away from the normal and the angle made by this emergent ray. Why have we given this ray as emergent ray the name? Because this is moving out, emerging out of the glass slab. So that is why the angle made by emergent ray with the normal is known as angle of emergence. Now we have three angles, angle I, angle of incidence, angle R, angle of refraction, and angle E, that is angle of emergence. This is how we do this glass slab activity, or how we see the refraction through a glass slab, refraction of light through a glass slab. This is our experiment, children. Now if there won't be any refraction, if the light ray would not have been bent, then how would have it gone? This is the original path of the incident ray. It would have gone out like this. If there would not be any bending, then the incident ray will go out of the glass slab like this. Now you see the difference. Because of the refraction, because of the change or in the media or the medium, or because of the change in the optical density of different medium, this bending of light has taken place, and this bending of light is known as refraction. See, now this perpendicular difference between the original light ray, that is the original path of the incident ray, and the emergent ray out of the glass slab, this perpendicular distance is known as lateral displacement. Very important question, children. What is lateral displacement or lateral shift? So, definition of lateral displacement or the lateral shift is the perpendicular difference between the original path of the light ray and the emergent ray which is coming out of the glass slab. This perpendicular distance is known as lateral displacement or lateral shift. So, I hope it is clear to you. So, like there was the law, or there were the laws of reflection, same way we have laws of refraction also. So, first law of refraction, the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal, and this is the normal, to the interface of two transparent media. This is the interface where two media are joining each other or separating each other. That point is known as interface. At the interface of two transparent media, at the point of incidence, all lie in the same plane. This is our first law of refraction. Then second law of refraction, very important. This is also known as Snell's law, as I have written here. It is also known as Snell's law. In exam you are asked the question, state Snell's law. So, the statement is the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant. This is known as our Snell's law, that sine of angle of incidence, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to sine of refraction is constant. Now, this is known as our Snell's law. This constant is also known as something. This constant is known as refractive index. Now, what is this refractive index? Refractive index of a medium gives us an indication of bending of light in that medium, bending ability of light of that medium. That what is how much the light is going to bend in this medium, that is known as refractive index of that medium. So, in another word, we can also write the definition of refractive index as ratio of speed of light in two media, or you can say refractive index is equal to speed of light in first medium to speed of light in second medium. So, this is our refractive index in terms if you know the speed of light. But if we do not know the speed of light, but we know the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, then also we can find out the refractive index. So there are two ways to find out the refractive index. One is when we know the angle of incidence and angle of refraction. The other way, if we do not know or we are not given in the question the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, instead of that we are given the speed of light in two different media, then we can find out the refractive index also. But children, about the refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2 and all these things we are going to talk about in the next video. So I think this much is enough for today. Thank you, children.